Hi everyone, this is Jason from Metal Flesh. Today I am going to try and rank the entire Metallica discography, starting from Getting the Bint Here all the way up to From Here to Eternity. From its release, I'm going to try and pick two highlight songs. I'm gonna try to stay away from the obvious hits or the well-known songs. We are going to kick things off with 1983's Kill 'Em All. This is a raw explosion of speed and aggression, rooted into the underground thrash scene, and it mixes some of the early new wave of British heavy metal riffing. The production is thin but energetic. You can actually hear the youthful hunger in this record. It's dangerous and it's fast. It's quite chaotic, less refined than later classics, but it's set the foundation of the thrash metal. For me, highlights will be Phantom Lord and Jump in the Fire. For me, this is solid A release. Things progress very quickly with Ride the Lightning, which came out in 1984. This is a massive leap in sophistication. The songwriting becomes more dynamic. We've got some nice acoustic passages, layered arrangements, and dark lyrical themes. This album is more mature and complex than Kill 'Em All, and it's a stylistic, artistic breakthrough. Highlights for me will be Ride the Lightning and Trapped Under Ice. For me, this is a solid From Here to Eternity. 1986, we see the release of Master of Puppets. This is just a masterpiece from start to finish. Not a single filler song. Basically, this is a genre-defining masterpiece. There is precision in riffing, intricate arrangements, and flawless pacing, which creates an album that balances brutality and melody at the same time. Every track feels purposeful, and unfortunately, this one was the last album featuring Cliff Burton. Highlights for me will be Leper Messiah and Battery. For me, this is a From Here to Eternity release. 1988, we see the release of And Justice for All. For me, this is my personal Metallica album. This one's progressive, it's technical and intricate, quite a lot of tempo changes and time signatures throughout the album. It contains, as stated, like complex song structures with political charged lyrics which are razor sharp in precision. Unfortunately for me, this loses quite a lot of points as an album because of its poor production and the fact that Jason's bass is just buried. You cannot hear a single note. Highlights for me will be Black End and To Live Is To Die. For me, this is a solid A release. 1991, we see the release of Metallica, or else known as the Black Album. This is a streamlined, groove-heavy reinvention. Metallica here slows down tempos. We've got massive production and arena-ready songs. The band here sacrificed complexity of the songs, and they went for a more commercial sound, and they became quite commercial at this stage. As I stated, comparing this to like the previous releases, especially comparing this one to the Justice for All, this is a more straightforward, more focused, and less technical album. Highlights for me will be My Friend of Misery and Holier Than Thou. For me, this is a solid A release. 1996, we see the release of Load. This one is bluesy, alternative, infused, heavy rock album. The band here experiments with groove, with textures, and introspective themes. Songwriting is strong, but stylistically, it's far from the thrash roots, the how Metallica started. It took me quite loads of spins to get into this album. I do visit it quite often at times, but I have to listen to it as a side Metallica project. For me, highlights will be Bleeding Me and The Outlaw Torn. For me, this goes to a C tier. The following year, we see the release of Reload. It's a continuation of the Load sessions. Basically, Reload contains the songs that were not finished during the Load sessions. This one is mixing hard rock grooves with radio-friendly hooks. It contains quite some strong singles. I believe the first single was like Fuel, if I'm not mistaken. But the album is less cohesive with quite a lot of filler songs. Highlights for me will be, I'm going to go with Fixer and Prince Charming. For me, this is a D tier release. After this, we see the release of Saint Anger. I believe I was quite excited for this one, but I was let down extremely quickly. This one's a raw and polished return to aggression, but aggression in this album doesn't mean it's a good thing. We've got absence of guitar solos, extremely long songs. We've got a terrible snare sound, and we've got James Hetfield that just came out of rehab, and his vocals are not that great. I'm really struggling to listen to this album to its entirety. In this instance, I'm just gonna select one song. It's gonna be Frantic. For me, this is a Get in the Bin tier. 2008, we see the release of Death Magnetic. This is a massive improvement from Saint Anger. We've got Metallica here returning back to their thrash-inspired riffing with extended compositions. This album does contain solos, and the song structures are quite complex. We've got the classic Metallica energy with loud mastering. Production is not that great. For me, a huge letdown is that every song is extremely long because the choruses are repeated like way too many times. Highlights, I'm just going to go with the Judas Case and The Day That Never Comes. For me, this is a solid B tier release. After this, we see the release of Lulu, which is a collaboration, Lou Reed's collaboration with Metallica. This is a highly experimental collaboration, blending spoken words with rock infusion and dark avant-garde themes. This one for me just collects dust. We've got Lou Reed just speaking, and we've got James Hetfield actually singing. Again, it's going to be really difficult to pick up two songs. I'm just going to go with one, The View. This is worse than Saint Anger. After this, we do see the release of Beyond Magnetic. This is an EP. It's a collection of leftover tracks from the Death Magnetic sessions. This is not a must buy for everybody. It's a solid release. It contains some solid songs with extremely riff driven. It's not a core, like I stated, it's not a core album. Not everybody needs to buy this, but it's a good standalone release. As it is an EP, I'm just gonna select one track. For me, the best track here is Rebel of Babylon. For me, it's a solid B release. After this, we see the release of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. This is a double album that mixes classic thrash aggression with groove-heavy modern metal. Some tracks hit hard, some others, especially on the second disc, are quite skippable after a few listens. You know, they just don't bring anything to the table. This one is more balanced than Death Magnetic, though some songs are quite long for no obvious reason. Highlights for me will be Atlas Rise and Spit Out the Bone. For me, it's a solid B release. It's going to go just a tiny little bit in front of Death Magnetic. Which brings us up to 2023, the release of 72 Seasons. This one's a groove-driven with mid-tempo focused record. The riffs are strong, and James Hetfield's introspective lyrics, they just bring this emotional weight in the album. We have got some pacing issues. Again, some songs are extremely longer than what they're needed. It's more consistent than Hardwired, but it just misses that spark that Hardwired had. Like, it misses songs like Moth into Flame or Atlas Rise or even Hardwired. For me, the two highlights will be Lax Eterna and Innamorata. For me, this is a B release. I'm just going to put it right over here. So there you have it, the entire Metallica discography, all the way up to From Here to Eternity, tier all the way down to Get in the Bin. Till next time, stay heavy.